Welcome back to your newest favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins, where BitBoy and JChains get together each week to talk about crypto and things happening in the community. They will bring you some special guests and giveaways, so make sure you're subscribed. For all show-related news, you can find the guys on various social media outlets. Everything is listed on the official show Twitter account, @BeardsBitcoins. Now, without further introduction, two dudes that have beards, like Bitcoins, and want to talk to you about both, BitBoy and JChains.
Hey everybody, welcome to your favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins. I am your co-host, BitBoy.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's JChains, your other co-host. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you've had yourself a fantabulous week. I'm sure it's pretty chilly where you're all, except for our buddy hosting with us today, right? BitBoy?
Yeah, Crypto Breakfast coming all the way from Germany, as you guys know. He's actually joining us today. So how are you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm actually visiting some family down in Florida, in Miami. So it's warm weather down here.
Well, do you think, just for the show only, do you think you could maybe try an American accent? Because we love Americans here on the show.
Yeah, I love Americans too. I don't like to talk about where I come from, you know. So I'll do my best. American. One sec. Okay, yeah, let's do this. American. Is this what Americans sound like?
Gosh, you sound like a cowboy.
I can do cowboy if you want me to do cowboy.
Oh, I've got it. Mine isn't really a cowboy. It's more of a country accent. But together we should do it. We should do our own show just with our accents.
Yeah, I like the way that sounds. Well, hey, thanks for joining us. I want a quick shout out our show sponsor, HODL Fuel. You can check them on Twitter at HODL Fuel or on the web, hodlfuel.com. Go ahead and get yourself some crypto-themed coffee. Make sure you use promo code Beards Bitcoins. It'll save you 10%. And last week, we gave away some coffee and some Stellar Lumen to Irish Crypto Girl. She was our winner. Yeah. So congratulations, Crypto Irish Girl. That was
still trying to get her the XLM because Binance has suspended XLM withdrawals today. So I think due to network congestion, probably a lot of people are jumping in and out of Stellar due to, we'll talk about the markets later, but some really interesting stuff that's happened this week regarding Bitcoin Cash and Stellar passing it. And then, you know.
Which Bitcoin Cash?
That's a whole different issue. The real BCH ABC, which if people do not understand, there's a fork now with Bitcoin Cash, which it's BCH ABC, which is the original Bitcoin Cash. However, that's the one that has now gone through an update. And then there's BCH SV, Satoshi's Vision, which we all know is fake Toshi. And that one actually did not receive the update. So even though BCH ABC is the original Bitcoin Cash, BCH SV is actually exactly what Bitcoin Cash was last week. It can't really get any more confusing than that.
Isn't there a third one? I thought I read somewhere there's a third Bitcoin Cash floating around too, but who knows?
Well, there are two. Okay, so you got BCH ABC and BCH SV. However, where it gets really complicated is most of the exchanges and CoinMarketCap, all these places have said that Bitcoin Cash ABC is going to still have only the BCH ticker. So it gets a little confusing because you got BCH out there, and then you got BCH ABC and BCH SV. I feel like I've just created a new alphabet, or maybe create a crime show on CBS.
That is tough to get, man. No thanks.
Yeah, it's
just buy Bitcoin, regular old Bitcoin.
Regular old Bitcoin goes. We could do a whole show talking about the Bitcoin Cash stuff, which is absolutely insane. But we are, though, going to be giving our friend Crypto Breakfast here a free bag of HODL Fuel. So you just let us know. You go to the website, pick out which blend that you want, and we're going to send you a free bag because this week we're doing another giveaway, and we're actually going to be doing a T-shirt giveaway. From Crypto Movement. So Crypto Movement is a sponsor of our show. And as you guys see, I'm rocking, if you're watching on the channel and not listening on iTunes or SoundCloud, you see I got my Crypto Movement hoodie. And you may remember last week on the show, I said that I hoped the crypto movement did not send me a free hoodie to my old house since I moved. And sure enough, he did. So I was able to go by and pick it up. So I'm rocking the Crypto Movement Stranger Things shirt. That's crypto apparel for the crypto enthusiast. And that is CRYPTO-MVMT.com for the website. Also 10% off with the code Beards Bitcoins. You can find them on Twitter and Instagram at Crypto Movement. So, yeah, we're going to be doing a giveaway. Just stay tuned on our Twitter page. We'll do it just like we did last week, where we do our podcast release, and then we'll do the giveaway post right after that. And so, as you guys know, Crypto Movement is a sponsor of the Crypto Movement Twitter Shoutout, where we shout out Twitter personalities and handles that we really like to follow and have been doing some good stuff. So, Jay Chains, who is your shout out of the week?
My shout out this week is going to Crypto Euclid. Happy Festivus. You can find him at Crypto Euclid. It was a treat to finally meet this guy a couple weeks ago back over at Halloween in Vegas. Quick funny story. We were at the club. We went for the Steve Aoki show, the pump at the club, which was sweet. But he was wearing a red cannabis hat that got tossed away by a security guard as he was entering into the venue. So I just saw today that someone had given him a Gone Squatching hat. I don't know if you remember the last couple of weeks, he's been fighting those Squatch eggs. So congrats on your new hat, buddy. Shout out, you've been putting out some good stuff, man. And it was good to meet you. So.
One of the nicest guys. One of the nicest guys on Twitter. I love that guy. Yeah.
Funny guy.
So
what about, he'd be nothing without the goddess. Let's not forget her.
Oh, can't forget the goddess. Did you guys? He does so much funny stuff. Did you see the video he did the other day where he was like dancing like this and like had his kid over there playing the keyboard or whatever? Gosh, that had me cracking up. So speaking of great people on Twitter, Crypto Breakfast, aka Brecky Von Bitcoin, aka Crypto Brecky. Who are you shouting out on Twitter?
I'm going to give a quick shout out to Naomi Brockwell, formerly Sky Corridors. I think her handle is just Naomi Brockwell now. And also her new project called Bitbacker. It's bitbacker.io, and it's kind of cool. I think we're all going to use it. Basically, it allows people to, it's kind of like Patreon. You know, you can donate one time or monthly to your favorite crypto content creators, support what they do. And because it is decentralized, of course, I think there's only like a 1% fee that just helps them pay for everything, rather than Patreon that takes like 10% or any of those other websites.
Well, the super chats take 30%.
Damn.
Yeah. So check out, I think it's bit_backer on Twitter. So, or bitbacker.io. Check it out.
Well, Naomi Brockwell, one of my very favorite people, not just on Twitter, but in the world. I do love her a lot. She's awesome, does a lot of great and positive stuff for the space. You actually stole my Twitter shout out, my original one, which was going to be Naomi. I was actually on her quiz show finale. We were talking a little before we came on. I'm still bitter I did not make it to the buzzer round, because if I did, I was going to absolutely crush everyone, and everyone was going to think I was a crypto sensei. But instead, I did not, and so everyone thinks I was one of the worst out of the best, which I'll take that.
It was on purpose, BitBoy. You know, we don't want you to shine too brightly, or you'll burn out, you know?
Yeah.
Bring it down. Bring it to everybody's level.
Or at least shine brighter than everyone else. So, okay, guys, I'm going to shout out someone who was actually on the finals with me, because he pretended to be Satoshi Light by holding a picture of Satoshi Light in front of his face the whole time, which is John Kim. You can find him at John Kim 77. He is, I think he's Satoshi Light's bodyguard, with him a lot, but really outside of that, he's really like an evangelist for Litecoin, but it's not just really for Litecoin. Litecoin is the avenue by which he's trying to bring crypto to people, but he's really just trying to spread the message of crypto. And, you know, he's got videos at restaurants showing people, you know, how to download wallets and stuff like that. And we talked about that a little bit last week with Ken Bozak and how he caught a bunch of criticism. But John Kim is another one of those guys like Ken that is doing way more for the space than, you know, most people know or recognize. So big shout out to him. And he's also a real funny dude. He's got some funny videos. And as you guys know, if you watch me or Crypto Breakfast stuff, we do a lot of creative comedy videos as well. So he's got a music video that's really funny. So you guys make sure that you go and check him out. So, all right, guys, that is our sponsor sections. Now let's get to the good stuff. Let's start talking. Let's talk about the markets. They've been absolutely terrible. We do have some green going on right now at this very moment, but I'm not hopeful it'll last more than a couple hours. Crypto Breakfast, what is your take on what's going on right now with the markets?
I mean, I think people are scared. I think this whole Bitcoin Cash fork situation definitely had some sort of impact. I don't know how much of it is, manipulation or evil overlord Craig Wright. But you know what I've been saying on social is that it's nothing we haven't seen before, nothing I haven't seen before, at least. I know some people, this is their first big dip. They thought that the dip happened this summer and nope, it's still going. But really, this is crypto, man. Like, this is a new asset class. This is something no one's seen before. I was listening to Murad, forget his last name, Murad, on Twitter on a podcast the other day, and he made this point that we want crypto to succeed, but it's not going to happen without volatility. So we got to kind of keep that in mind. And frankly, if you're not selling tomorrow, then it's not such a big deal. Just hold strong. Don't panic sell. The markets are the markets, and they're small markets. Like, everyone thinks that these are mature markets. Tiny. They're tiny. It's a drop in the bucket.
I showed a video because what's people say about crypto? It's a scam. We got all these scam coins, these ICO. Everything's a scam. The total market cap right now is like 145 billion or 150 billion. It's right at 150 billion, I think, right now after this next dip we had. And I did a story where there was a money laundering scheme involving Deutsche Bank, which is one bank. Granted, it is the biggest bank in Europe, I believe, but it's one bank, and it was one instance. It was $150 billion money laundering scam. Like, that's, it's so crazy. That's exactly what we got right now going on in crypto. And, it's just such a little drop in the bucket right now compared to some of the bigger companies out there, whether it be Amazon or whatever. So, and on the Amazon front, also a very interesting comments that happened this week was Jeff Bezos told his people that the average company makes it about, 30 to 40 years. And saying that, he thinks in the next 20 years, Amazon won't even be around. And I thought that was really interesting to tell his own, stockholders that it was a leak tape too. It wasn't public forum. And it's very interesting because, through crypto, there's been a lot of people that are trying to do crypto, competitors to Amazon. So who knows? Maybe he opened the door for something like that. But yeah, the markets have been absolutely crazy. What are your thoughts about it right now, Jay Chains?
Well, I think that it's, kind of what Brecky said, you've got a lot of people who there's so much uncertainty. I mean, it's a brand new thing, right? There's so much uncertainty. And, if you look back at the market cycles of over the last number of years, I mean, like you said, it goes up and it goes down. I mean, we're in the valley right now of a market swing. And, everybody that got in late was, promised Lambos and, $100,000 Bitcoin. Well, that's just not where we are right now. We're way down, and God knows what's going to happen at this particular moment. I mean, it could go down into the threes. If it goes into the threes, I'm selling organs to buy because that'll never happen again. And just hopefully it's not a sustained market down there. But it's going to come back. It's like you said, man. It's just a market cycle. Market cycles are up and down. That's just what they do.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. But this isn't the worst Bitcoin drop ever. This is not the longest Bitcoin drop ever. So I just look at the people that have the weak hands, and it's really sad that we talk about this over and over. And I want to draw a distinction. We talked about it last week as well, like a distinction between someone who's a weak hand, meaning they sell and they get out of crypto, and then somebody that sells because they think the price is going to go down more. Like that's a different situation. But speaking of the volatility, something really interesting happened on my channel over the last week, which is looking at the movement between the different coins in the top 5. So I talked about earlier, about a week ago, about how I made the prediction that before Christmas, XRP was going to pass Ethereum and it was not going to flip-flop anymore. It was going to be pretty much permanently, at least for the near future, the next couple of years, ahead of Ethereum. And now XRP, sure enough, has opened a huge lead over Ethereum. I don't know if Ethereum's going to be able to catch it. And then the same week, I said, I think that that Stellar is going to have a really hard time or for a long time passing Bitcoin Cash, because Bitcoin Cash was sitting at, I think, a $15 billion market cap, and it was sitting at a $4 billion. So it was $10 billion behind, $10 to $11 billion behind, and then the next day Bitcoin Cash dropped like 50%, and Stellar jumped ahead of it. And I was like, man, it was just a reminder of how volatile these markets can be. And we hate it when it's dropping, but we love it when it's going up. And we look at this time last year, how volatile things were, and it's so funny how it's mirror imaging last year in the opposite direction. So
that's interesting, because like right around now is when it started to boil up a little bit, didn't it?
Oh yeah. We're now entering times when a year Bitcoin was much higher than it was now, or than it is now. So what are your thoughts? I know you've been in Bitcoin since, I think you said 2015. Is that right?
No, 13.
13. That's right.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the volatility that we're seeing right now?
It's something that I just think, like we were talking about before, because the market is so small, you have to just accept it. I'm just happy that I have this kind of past experience of a dip, because it gives me perspective. And being in it for the long haul, I'm not worried.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just talking about last year and prices, and this time last year, everyone's like, "Oh man, I'd cut off my left hand for a $4,000 Bitcoin." It's amazing that when people get what they want, they feel the opposite. So I don't want to be mean to people. I like to be positive and uplifting, and not spread salt. But this is what people wanted. And if you're not taking advantage of it, then you're going to regret it later, I think.
What do you think about the people that are saying, that's it, I'm done, I'm selling everything, I'm out, I never want to hear crypto again?
I feel very sorry, and I think they overextended themselves. I'm down in a lot of positions. I'll admit that, but I'm not truly down until I sell.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't put in
or you
more
get
than
hacked. Or you get hacked. That's a good one. That happened to me, and yeah, that's another way to go
great.
down.
I'm doing swell.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's true though. You don't actually lose until you sell, and everyone's position's down. I mean, I'm down pretty good. I know that, and I'm in it for the long term. I'm not here to become a millionaire overnight. I mean, damn, it would be really nice, but I see the long term vision of it. I know, BitBoy, you feel the same way, Precky. Sounds like you're the same way. We're that's why we're here. That's why we're doing what we do, is because we believe in it.
And that's the thing. Most people get in. Everyone gets in because of the money, I think.
Yep.
Most people, and then those who stay either made money or they have that aha moment where they realize, like for me, I was, when I first read, Antonopoulos' The Internet of Money, I was just like, whoa, mind blown. Every chapter, mind blown. So I think people need to evaluate why they're here. And if it's just for the money, then you probably have a problem. But
well, and just to kind of echo something you talked about just a second ago. So Crypto Daily, who's, one of my favorite YouTubers, I like him a lot better when he's doing daily stuff, since his name is Crypto Daily. But for a long time he wasn't. He was doing maybe weekly. They should have called him, Crypto Monthly. But, he's actually the person that I modeled my channel after. He was the first YouTuber I watched, and he seems to have a really nice perspective on things, I believe. He seems to get a lot of information. The bigger your subscriber count is, the more people are sending you information, which is good to help you get a larger perspective. And he said it was very interesting. He said that, what possibly happened is that last year the price went up. Now we'll take Tether out. We'll take every reason why the price could have gone up out. Which is last year the price went up astronomically. And it was almost exclusively retail investors or crypto whales. It wasn't Wall Street people coming in and buying it and pushing it up the top. We didn't really start even hearing about that until this year. It
was rumors. We all thought it was there's somebody. No, but it wasn't that.
Yeah, it was retail investors that were coming in for the first time, or it was people who had a lot of crypto. They were early adopters and stuff like that had a large amount and started putting more in. And, he said that the institutional investors would have wanted to FOMO in at those prices, but they knew it would have been too ridiculous for them to FOMO in. So they missed the train. And he said the power of the institution is that when you miss the train on the prices, you're able to lasso up and throw it back on the train and pull the train back to you so you didn't miss those prices. And as I was looking at a 5-cent Cardano, a penny and a half Tron, some of these other prices that are just a $9 Neo, which I'm not a big fan of Neo at this point, but just looking at some of those prices and saying, man, we are like, how much would we have given last year to have a second chance to get in positions before the run? We've given anything for it. I probably would have cut off a finger.
And now we're in the next market cycle, like
we're in it.
I looked at the price of Monero today and I almost shat my pants because I have some Monero, but at the same time I was like, God, I need to, I think I'm gonna get some more.
Well, the timing couldn't have been any better for me because I just sold my house. So I was afraid that when I sold my house and I actually had a little bit more money to invest, that the prices would pass me by. And so it really coincided very well, this dip. At least I was afraid I was going to miss it and wasn't going to be able to, and we're all out of money. Everybody knows that, right? We're all out of money, to put in. So if you get any kind of extra little chunk, and you want to throw it in, you certainly don't want to be, doing it when the price is going up. So for me personally, it was good, but now I'm ready for it to go up again, but definitely took some more positions and some, different stuff. Tron, Monero, Stellar, those are all, things I'm a big fan of and think that are going to be around for a long time. So that's really, really the key. So I'm actually
you just said that you're a big fan of Tron and you think it's going to be around for a long time. Did I hear that correctly?
Tron is my most speculative option. I'm going to be doing a video very soon on Tron. You guys be on the lookout for it. And I'm going to explain why, personally, I feel like Tron has the most upside out of almost anything in the top 100.
You.
There's a downside though. This is different. Like with something like Stellar, right? Stellar's got a lot of upside. It doesn't have a ton of downside. Like Stellar is a company, they've got an exchange out. It's going to do pretty well. Bitcoin is the same way. There's plenty of stuff in the top 10. XRP is another one. There's not a lot of down outside of the philosophical reasons I don't invest in XRP. But
Sure.
Tron has the most upside, but it also has a huge possibility of downside. So Tron is a huge gamble, but if it does do what they say it's going to do, or even can keep that hype up for a couple more cycles, then Tron's going to be astronomically high.
Honestly, I tweeted about this. Oh, sorry, German. We'll do it American. I tweeted about this the other day. I think Tron, I did a poll. I basically asked people if they thought that Tron was like a good example of fake it till you make it, because I think they did it. I don't love Tron. It's a copy paste of Ethereum, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I think they've got enough real partnerships, enough real ones that they'll succeed in some form, in some fashion, But well, it's not financial advice. Blah 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 blah.
They have the figurehead, they have the partnerships, they have the hype, they have the marketing, and to me, the purchase of BitTorrent was kind of the moment when I said, and then looking at how they're planning on using it with Project Atlas and different stuff, like I was just like, you know what, because I lost a lot of money on Tron last year, and I had gotten to where, I stopped believing that there was a method to Justin Sun's madness, but now I've actually came full circle on that, and I think there is. And, this is like...
It's kind of the Donald Trump method, to be honest. It's we're the greatest, look at who we're talking to, and you just
people are phenomenal.
Your way into being real. Yeah, exactly. Was that the Donald I heard? Was that you?
Our people are phenomenal. We've got the best people working on the best projects. We got the BitTorrent, and let me tell you, the BitTorrent's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you guys love that Trump impression. So, yeah, that's I think that it's definitely very interesting. But let's kind of segue right now. Kind of speaking about doing a poll on Twitter and the community and things like that. Let's go and switch gears. Our podcast is really about community. We're always talking. That's why we do the Twitter shout outs. That's why we're always trying to talk about the way that the markets not necessarily just impact our finances, but the community. And one thing that you did recently, which I thought was really, really interesting, was the Salt Bucket Challenge, which I participated in. You participated in as well, right, Justin? Or Jay Chains?
You
didn't do your video yet?
I
Oh,
started
man.
it, but I didn't get it. And then all of a sudden, people were talking. They were dogging the salt challenges.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
It got dirty. It got dirty on crypto Twitter.
So that's what I wanted to talk about. I mean, yeah, it definitely caught some flack, and in my mind, it seems like Twitter, which is, I say this all the time, the education of crypto happens on YouTube, the community happens on Twitter, right?
Yep.
And so the Twitter community, it really seems like there's a strong divide growing within it, where people are attacking each other and things like that. And that was supposed to be what the Salt Bucket Challenge was supposed to help. However, it actually turned into the exact same thing that, was trying to fight against, where people were hating on stuff. So where'd you get the idea to do it? And then what did you think about the reaction?
Yeah, and also terrible timing. As soon as we did it, the market crashed.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was bad.
So the idea obviously came from like the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, and a lot of the things I do, I like to go for the silly and the ridiculous because it's just a lot of fun, and I just imagined, oh God, I've got all this long hair. Imagine dumping all the salt into it. And I had just noted, like you guys had noticed, the level of salt and vitriol on Twitter has just gone up. And, on the flip side, crypto, while I make light of it, I call myself like a crypto satirist. This is very important. Like, some people say the fate of the world hangs in the balance. Like crypto is incredibly important to the future. And I believe that. So I get where the salt can come from. My problem is sometimes when the salt comes from, people who followed calls that were bad or, followed calls blindly and didn't do their own research, and that kind of salt that I don't approve of. If it's salt that has to do with, the fate of Bitcoin, that's important. But I don't know. I think it succeeded in some ways. It reinforced a lot of the positivity that does exist, and it definitely brought out some of the negativity that's already there. But that's kind of human nature.
Well, it did
keep fighting against it.
Yeah, it seemed to bring out the two camps. You've got the one side of us that are positive, and that's not a silly positive. It's not like it's not a ignorant positive. We don't sit here and say like, oh, we're going to 100,000 next year. You're definitely going to get a Lambo. Like, we keep things real, but we still like to keep things light. We like to keep things fun. We like to keep things positive, because what's
keep people happy.
Yeah.
People got to be happy. I mean, in tough times, it's always good to laugh.
Yeah.
This is how BitBoy, you and I know, got into the whole social media game for crypto around the same time. And we were both trying to make people laugh.
Yeah.
The BitBoy cartoon, which is coming out one day.
One day it is coming out. There's no question. It will come out for sure.
It will come out, possibly on the Crypto Cake Network.
Hopefully.
But that was the whole point, like to keep people upbeat during the bear market so that they still remain believers in crypto. And, to the idea about like, I don't know if you guys wanted to talk a little bit about like whether, it's okay to do funny content and that kind of thing in crypto or not. But like, I actually think it's more important than ever during a bear market, during these down times, to keep educating and to keep making people laugh and to kind of, spread the Bitcoin gospel or crypto gospel, whatever, floats your boat, because, we're not going to get mass adoption unless we do that, unless we engage people. It's one thing to do it during a bull run when everyone's excited, but I think people like us, content creators are needed now more than they've ever been needed before. And somebody earlier today was tweeting about how Bitcoin's biggest problem is a problem of misinformation.
Yeah.
Like some reporter put out a news article today, and I did a little thread kind of basically bashing some of his points. And this is the time when the mainstream media is going to come out against Bitcoin and say it died. And, that's good. It's good that they say it died, because when it comes back and, it's alive still, then everyone will be like, wow, Bitcoin's still here. But, we need to engage our audiences and people outside of our audiences in order to kind of keep the battle going, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And that's why, I'm always making funny videos and always trying to come up with new creative content. I know we both got special stuff planned for Christmas, which is going to be pretty cool. Just a little teaser for you guys. But
should we talk about it? Should we talk about it a little bit, or keep it a surprise?
I mean, we don't have the biggest podcast in the world, so maybe everybody won't know about it if you want to talk about it. So
Yeah.
you want to throw a little teaser out there?
Yeah, we can throw a little teaser out there.
Tease 'em.
What's up?
Tease them.
Tease them. So holidays are coming up. Everyone loves Christmas music and holiday songs, me especially. So I'm doing a little collaboration with my Twitter shout out, Naomi Brockwell. We're going to be putting out, I think it's the very first ever in history, crypto holiday album where we're rewriting a lot of classic songs, a lot of old, Bing Crosby type stuff. And they're going to be all about crypto, and you can play them for your family. And hopefully your family won't realize until it's too late, until they're already listening, that this is a song about crypto, not just Christmas.
So you're going to be a crooner. I'm excited to hear this.
Oh yeah.
And he can sing pretty good. I'm a big fan of the
beginning
singing.
to look a lot like crypto.
Yeah, that was me. That was actually me. So do you want to go ahead and give it? I'm just kidding. Well, and I will actually be creating the first children's crypto Christmas book. So very excited. Just a little teaser for you guys. So I always got to keep up with Brecky. We started at the same time. So when he's doing creative stuff, I got to make sure I jump on it, even though people like his better than mine.
I don't know about that. You've got the YouTube army.
Yeah,
I've
it's
got
true.
the Twitter army, maybe.
It's true. And I do have Instagram trolls still to this day.
I'm still waiting for my first bot, for my first fake account. That's what I said to myself. I won't be a success as a content creator in crypto until someone is pretending to be me.
Well, you know what? And I said the same thing. And I thought it would be on Twitter. And I was actually I was always disappointed when other people got theirs before mine. I'd be like, you only got 1,000 followers. How'd you get a Twitter bot? And, which we're making light of something that's pretty serious, obviously, which is people doing scams. But
Yeah.
when you're a content creator and you're trying to grow your following, these are things that cross your mind, Yeah. And but I have had some impersonators via email and also on Telegram. So
that was me, BitBoy. I apologize.
I've had the Telegram ones as well. Those are obnoxious.
Yeah,
Ugh.
they're the word. The Telegram is bad because it is straight up impersonation and it's from all fronts. They're actually trying to scam projects as well, saying oh, hey, I'm BitBoy. Can I do a review of your of your coin? If so, send it over and I'll do the review. And it's not even me, So Telegram is the new frontier for the scams. I think is going to be much bigger than Twitter. Coming up soon and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that there have been some battle lines kind of drawn between some positive people, some negative people. The thing about the negative people on Twitter is there's a lot of older accounts, bigger accounts, and I feel like they're really attacking people to create the drama and to stay relevant during a bear market. And then they're loaded up with armies of bitter people that have lost money. And that's really what creates this perfect storm. Is that kind of what you've seen, you think, Jay Chains?
I think so. Obviously there's just a number of different reasons why things are the way that they are. And, whether you put too much in, you put too much than you were supposed to put in, and now you're hurting, and, your mortgage payments are getting tight, or whatever your situation is. People are just having an issue. It's
Sorry, we got a phone call.
Hold on, guys. Hello?
How do I
It's the
silence
ring.
this?
I'm just looking at a cake on your shirt there.
that's the Crypto Cake logo.
Yeah, it is the Crypto Cake. 1 second. Let me see if I can mute this guy. What is going on here?
This is huge. This is huge news right here. Are we going to get the voicemail? I want to hear the voicemail.
I think I just hung up on somebody.
Hello, this is Craig from BCHSV. Just calling to make sure that you're hashing my coin. Thank you. I am Satoshi. Please love me. I am relevant.
Nice.
That was actually Craig Wright calling in.
Craig Wright? Yeah.
Craig Wright, yeah.
He put in a call to Germany.
Slice of fried wallaby. So, fried wallaby is the most Australian thing I can think of. I don't even know if it's a real thing, but fried wallaby, I got to get.
I tried kangaroo once. It was pretty good. They actually marinated it in a Coca-Cola syrup because it's so tough that they use the Coca-Cola to break it down.
Ooh, nice. I love Coke.
It was delicious. Yeah.
Where'd you have this at?
North Carolina of all places.
Wow.
Yeah,
In a
there's
restaurant?
Yeah, there's this like random, like I think like 3 or 4 star restaurant hiding in the Appalachians, and they just have really interesting stuff. I also tried a chocolate steak there, one of my favorite meals of all time. All right, let's talk food for like 10 seconds. Basically, they took like a filet mignon, they coated it in crushed espresso beans, they cooked it, and when it was almost done cooking, they injected it with like with a dark chocolate.
Yeah.
And then it was in like a Bailey's Irish cream sauce. Maybe it sounds crazy, but it is delicious. Like
That sounds incredible.
not bear market food for sure, but really good.
That is interesting.
You can tell I'm about to go to dinner. I'm really hungry.
Yeah. So
What is going on with this ring? God.
that thing is going off. Bear market. It's a bear. It's a bear market out there, and even the phones are feeling it.
Yeah,
You know, we got people calling, we got ringing, nobody's answering. That truly is a bear market. That's my new thing. I say bear market for everything. I say it to my kids about stuff. Like, Daddy, can I get some Legos? I'm like, bear market.
Bear market.
No, boy, it's a bear market.
Well, I'm actually going to North Carolina Friday for a little World Series of Poker circuit action at Cherokee Casino. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to stop by and get
Where you
some
going?
kangaroo.
Where is it?
Cherokee, North Carolina. It's an Indian reservation. It's the biggest tournament stop of the World Series of Poker outside of Las Vegas. So
Ooh, cool. Where is that near? Is that near like Raleigh or like?
no, it's in the middle. It's like totally in the middle of the state. Or let me just say this: it's not near anything. Yeah,
Fair enough.
You drive through basically nothingness forever.
You driving up there?
Yeah, it's not far. It's 3 hours, but I got to stop and pick up my buddy that's going with me, and he's only 2 hours away. So, yeah, and there's no flying. There's no flying there. There's no place to fly into. So
It's probably closer for you to drive than it is to go to an airport, fly there. And then
no
drive from
question. I mean, it literally takes 3 hours from the time I leave my house to when I get on a flight in the Atlanta airport because you got to be there 2 hours early, and I'm about an hour away. So, yeah, I've definitely done that math before and been like, wow, I went to this place that was pretty far away, and I actually could have gotten here earlier if I would have driven. But, you know, then you got to actually drive, which kind of sucks, where you can sleep on a plane.
That's something that plagues me all the time because I live in Austin, so I'm always connecting through Dallas.
Yeah.
And it's a 3-hour drive pretty much on the nose from Dallas to Austin. And it's, I mean, like a 35-minute 40 flight, but, you know, with all the BS that goes on with it, you know, it's like, okay, I think I should just drive home because I'll be home faster. But then, like you said, you actually have to drive, and nobody wants to do that.
No, you can't. How do you look at crypto Twitter when you're driving?
You don't.
Wrong answer. The correct answer is very carefully. Because trust me, I do it all the time.
Oh,
So,
big boy.
I need to put like a little phone emoji every time I'm on my phone while I'm driving, while I'm tweeting. A little car emoji maybe. But yeah, so all right guys, we have digressed way far away. Let's get back to the mean here. So we've already talked about, you know, kind of how, you know, content creation and I guess art in a way. I mean, I don't like to ever call what I do art, but, you know, it definitely has a role in the community right now because it's a bear market. Where do you kind of see, like, what is the future of the integration between crypto and content creation? You know, what we were talking earlier about my cartoon, you know, maybe one day being on the Crypto Cake channel and things like that. So that's kind of an example. Like, where do you see, outside of this one little window where we're in right now, where do you see this going?
It's got to go commercials, right? Like at some point, it's going to go. I mean, your bank's on TV with a commercial. You got businesses on TV with a commercial. Imagine when you start seeing commercials for crypto.
Wow, that's interesting.
We've seen a Coinbase one.
Yeah.
During the
We've seen
Super
those
Bowl.
pop up. I've started stamping buy Bitcoin on everywhere I go. I have this little stamp, so I'm doing some advertising. But,
Did you already finish it, or are you still in a contest? You're giving away one, right?
Oh, I'm giving away a stamp on tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna pick the winner. So enter the contest if you haven't already. Wow, commercials. That's like, you know what? Have you guys ever heard the kind of idea that these cryptocurrencies, like, they're currencies, blah blah blah, but they're also like their own little economies. So like, I just think it's so new, and like even we're learning so much. Like, the entertainment factor is important, but like, it's all about education in my mind. Like, even if it's like a sci-fi show where there's like a future dominated by blockchain or something, like, just getting people used to this idea is really important. So I don't know. I just hope we see a lot more. I hope we see a lot of artists dive into crypto and realize how important it is and bring their spin to it. Look at Silicon. I mean, even it's already started popping up in Silicon Valley last year. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the cool thing about it.
Oh, go ahead, man.
I was going to say the cool thing about it is for those of us that are already in crypto right now that kind of have a knack for creativity, or I would have never said I was creative before I started this channel, but a knack, new or not, for being creative. The cool thing is we're like all crypto has right now. Like if you want to go and do a commercial, or if you want to go, commercial is a bad example of what I'm talking about, but if you want to go and have a talk show, or you want to have a radio show on XM, or if you want to do your own TV show, a call-in show, whatever it might be, there's a huge pool of people that could do that on any random topic. Like think sports, for instance. Like there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people, if not, there's millions of people out there that could have their own sports talk show. I believe that. But with crypto, there's not. It's probably less than thousands. It's probably hundreds.
Look who you got on this podcast. It's just us. So that's the only people available.
That's pretty much it. So you can give me a call, 678-6. Call. So, but that's kind of rolling this into talking about our possible channel that's hopefully coming out next year. Crypto Cake. Brecky here is wearing his Crypto Cake shirt. Nice little cool logo there if you guys are watching on the channel. But, that's one thing that's been cool about being picked for that is because I mean, it's not that we suck or anything. Like, we're good at what we do, but
you're all they got, kid.
We're all they got. Yeah, the pool for who they can choose to be able to, run a television show and also have the knowledge of crypto. Like it is pretty small, I mean,
it goes back to like this whole idea of like the market cap and the market itself. Like it's tiny, like crypto Twitter is one subset of all the people in crypto. There's all the people on Reddit. There's the people who just keep their heads down and mine for Bitcoin, but I'd really love to find some numbers on how many people are actually actively involved in crypto.
It would astonish you.
Yeah,
I know that.
It's not.
On the negative side, on the downside. Yeah.
So go out and make your own crypto content. Just, don't do it better than us.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. So get started, but just not too fast.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the truth. Like when you look at people on Twitter, even if you look at the biggest people on crypto Twitter, they may have 150,000 followers. I think that's probably about the cap. I don't know if there's anybody that's at 200, but probably around 150,000 followers. And on YouTube, I think Data Dash has 300 something thousand subscribers, but your bigger accounts are like right around 100,000, something like that. But 90% of those people are gone. I believe that. I believe 90% of their followers and 90% of the subscribers that were built during the last bull run are gone. And it still looks like these people get a lot of engagement because you're looking at it in relative terms of like, oh, this guy's got 150,000 and this is kind of what the engagement he gets. This guy's got 50,000 and this is kind of the engagement he gets. But both of those guys are missing 90% of their followers. Just poof. So
just old accounts that nobody even uses anymore. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's people all the time that make crypto accounts. I mean, not all the time. There were certainly people during December and November and January and even February when things were still hopeful, where people were trying to get into the space. They were making new accounts, and
I'm still hopeful, BitBoy. I'm still hopeful.
Still hopeful.
I'm just realistic.
Yeah. No. Look, I'm hopeful and realistic too. I certainly hope we're not going to sit through a 3-year bear market. I don't think we will. I think, but this time next year, I don't know. By this time next year, we may be in another bear market, but that means we had a nice one in the middle. But,
what's the longest bear market been? It's been like 2 years and some change.
It was 2013.
3 years, 2013 to 2015. Yeah. It was right at 3 years. I think it was 150-ish weeks, somewhere around there. The average, I believe, is like 62 weeks or something like that. So we're getting close to the average. So hopefully at some point soon. And the thing about people miss about that larger bear market is that the fundamental question surrounding the bear market was totally different than the fundamental question around this bear market. The fundamental question of the last one was, will Bitcoin survive? The new fundamental question is, how long will it take to come back? And it's totally different. So, imagine, like right now, none of us believe that crypto is going to go away. Bitcoin could go down to $500, and I'm still not going to believe it's going to go away. Whereas
look at everything institutional, man. Like all the development on the institution side, like crypto is accepted.
Yeah.
The powers that be have said, okay, there's going to be regulation, blah 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 blah. But like, you're right, it's completely different. I don't know. I also think like you look at kind of just like psychologically these price levels that we're dealing with. And I don't use TA. I don't do any of that. I rarely trade. But psychologically speaking, like let's say we go down to $3,000. Are you telling me that like hordes of people are not going to swarm in and buy $3,000 Bitcoins? Like, I think they will. So
it'll be crazy. It'll be crazy.
Yeah. And I do think here's a fact, guys. The fact is markets are 100% psychological. 100%.
Especially small markets.
Especially small markets. But I had an economist on my show several weeks ago. By the way, Crypto Brecky, the first guest I ever had on the YouTube channel. So, that was so long ago. That was so crazy.
True. We were like kids back then.
We were like little kids back then. I didn't even know what I was doing. So, anyways, I totally lost my train of thought when I mentioned that. What was I talking about?
An economist on your show?
Right, I had an economist on my show. It was not Crypto Brecky. And that's what he told me. He said he had a book coming out, and it was only like 99 cents. And he was talking about how there is a financial crisis coming, but nobody knows when, and maybe 10 years, 5 years, whatever. So he wasn't like one of those kind of like hokey guys, And he was kind of explaining to me the way markets work, and I didn't know. He said, look, the reason that TA works, and it's never going to work 100%, but the reason TA works is because TA is a charting of the psychology of a market. It has nothing to do with the actual price. It has nothing to do with what's behind the market. He said he can take a market of anything. Candlestick charting actually started in China in the 1500s with rice. Rice was the first market that had candlestick charts, which is very interesting. Yeah. And so, the psychology behind, that's why we have this, we call it the crypto meme sheet, because we've been using it ever since January or December or whatever, that basically shows the market cycles and shows depression and capitulation and panic and all that stuff. And that's based on psychology. It's based on that's where strong hands and weak hands come from. Like, there's always going to be a much smaller percentage that are the strong hands, and the weak hands are going to follow a predictable chart. So, it's just very interesting to really think about how much the mindset of, and I've seen it. I've talked about this a few times because my friend who got into altcoins with me, he's out. He got out a couple weeks ago. He said, I can't handle it anymore, which he's the one who helped me create my characters. We were talking every day about the markets, and I can talk about it. No, he'll never see this because he doesn't watch my videos.
Wait, hold on. We got to talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that HODL, the HODL panic sold?
HODL panic sold. Yeah. Yeah. HODL panic. Actually, if you want to know something actually very interesting, he actually created BitBoy and I created HODL.
Okay. All right. Now that makes more sense.
Now, of course, I have become BitBoy, but yeah, it does actually make sense when you think about it like that. So, and I've been telling him, like, you're so typical. You're like the typical weak hand. How do you not see this? And he's like trying to explain to me why Bitcoin's not going to work and why like companies can come up with blockchains and not have to use crypto. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you sound like everything I talk about on my channel,
You should send him an Initiative Q ref link, I think.
I should. What's it? Is it down to like 19,000 now? So surely he'll be able to.
I don't know. I try to stay away from that.
I do. Well, I feel like we could probably talk for like 17 hours with Crypto Brecky. He's definitely one of our favorite people on the podcast. But we do have to go, or else this will end up being a 17-hour long podcast, which we don't want. So any final thoughts that you have, Crypto Breakfast, on community, the markets, anything, and of course tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, I do think we should do a 17-hour podcast. We should do one of those, like, see how long we can go, have people call in and sponsor it. Like, we'll do a marathon. That'd be pretty cool. Have new guests, like, cycle in. But
and we could hold on. We could hold on to the phone, and the last person that lets go of the phone wins like a Bitcoin. We'll have to get the community to fund it, though.
We'll table that idea. Yeah, you can find me at Crypto Brecky. That's Crypto. I hope you know how to spell that. Brekkie, Brekkie. It is now the same across Instagram and Twitter. Please come say hello. I'm a very friendly guy. You can watch my content. CryptoBreakfast.io will take you to my YouTube, and you can find all the fun Blockchain and Morty videos. And hopefully you'll see me on the Crypto Cake Network along with BitBoy very, very soon. And guys, thank you so much for having me on. This was a blast. I hope to be on the show again.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah.
Thanks for joining.
As long as you have the beard.
Oh, the beard's not going anywhere. It's a bear market beard.
Bear market beard, man. This thing's gonna get long here.
Yeah.
So cool.
Well,
what about you, J Chains?
Stick with it. Don't panic sell. Just keep your chin up. It will get better. Remember, you're not broke until you sell.
This too shall pass.
This too shall pass. Don't sell.
Once again, or get hacked. So make sure you have your security up, because if you get hacked, it's as good as selling, as good as panic selling. So be careful with your security.
Keep doing your research. Keep finding your projects. Scoop where you can. Accumulate. It'll come back.
Tell one person about Bitcoin every day.
Yep.
Tell a new person about Bitcoin. Just do that.
Did you say a nude? Did you say a nude person? Or a nude
yes.
person?
Tell nude people about Bitcoin also. But
So your Uber drivers. I mean, that's something that we've seen.
Yeah.
Becky, you preach that. Talk to your Uber drivers about it every time.
they have to listen to you. They have to listen to you. They can't kick you out of the car.
Right.
Not for doing that.
And
Not for chit chatting.
and hopefully they will not be nude. So
Well, you never know.
wait, I've seen some you definitely don't want. But
What are your final thoughts, BitBoy?
my final thoughts on this are that, in my opinion, we're, as you guys know, we're all Satoshi droppers. We're all about love. We're all about proof of community. We're about positivity. But somehow, within that, there have been battle lines drawn, I believe, on Twitter between positive people and people that are negative. And in my opinion, if you want to be bitter and you want to join the negative side, then do it. But my plea to you would be stay positive, stay with the positive people. Don't attack people because I feel like it's cannibalization because of the bear market. Don't attack people. Be positive. That's why you won't see me, even though I will say that there are a lot of people on Twitter that I do not like because they are being negative. I won't say that on Twitter because I don't want to attack people and I don't want to get into fights with people because that's not positive for the space. We see that with Bitcoin Cash and the Fork, and Craig Wright and Roger Ver and Yan Wu are all going at each other, and it has not been positive for the community. So stay positive, live that proof of community mindset. That's what we do, and that's all that we got for you tonight.
Get your HODL fuel.
Yep.
Get your crypto movement gear, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Out, guys.
Auf Wiedersehen.
See ya.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening to Beards and Bitcoins. If you like what you heard, show these guys some love and rate review on SoundCloud or iTunes. Also, remember you can always find the guys on social media. The show Twitter page is @BeardsBitcoins. You'll find direct links to BitBoy and JChains from there. Make sure you check for updates, announcements, and contests. Good luck to all who enter. See you next time.